I get a lot of YouTube comments from people talking about how this channel has encouraged them to try Shield Fighter or other blocking tech, and that they're really enjoying it. That makes me happy. This video is designed for newer players, maybe players who started playing this wipe, who aren't beginners anymore, and are ready for a few more intermediate combat tips. Use the bow. I hit him. Oh, I almost got him. Almost got him. For how they can play as a shield fighter, or try using the shield, or otherwise approach PvP combat in certain situations versus other players. GG man, nice try. So I got a bunch of intermediate combat tips in this vid. Here's a quick list on the screen of all the things I'll be talking about. And of course, timestamps are below. Okay, a few advanced combat tips for people who used to be beginners, but aren't so much anymore. Here we go. Tip number 1 is that you can actually jump over wizard fireballs. Most wizards aim for your feet, so you can jump and crouch in the air. Most of the time, it'll go right onto you. It's definitely a bit risky, but also a lot of fun. Let's try, man. This next tip is for how you can fake swap to a ranged weapon to encourage a kiting player to come back into melee. This is good for players who want to run and who are listening for a vulnerability. By fake switching to a ranged weapon like a bow or a throwing axe, that player will often turn to come back in and attack, but you can anticipate that. Switch back to your melee immediately after you pull out your bow to get a free hit when they come back into range. Man, GG.
Little freak. You're not a rogue. What are you doing? Oh, that was actually kind of intense. Oh, that was actually very intelligent.
Let's try, man. What a tank! My goodness. Since the recent nerfs to Bardiche, there's been a lot more barbarians running Zweihanders in the dungeons. To block the Zweihander more reliably, I find getting close and aiming for the hands is the most reliable strategy. Face him. Ducking. Oh! Mage Bolt. Mage Assist. I should also note, I'm using the skill Perfect Block to make sure I interrupt their attack combo. For some reason, trying to block the weapon, trying to block the Zweihander, at a medium distance is less reliable and more prone to desync issues. This can definitely be a bit scary and take some getting used to, but the closer you can get to the barb, the better it is. Most rangers have a desire to keep you in their line of sight. It seems to bother them if they know that you're close by, but they can't quite get a shot. Come on back in, buddy. Come on back in. You can take advantage of this by waiting by an open door. Let's see. Ranger trap. And wait on the hinge side of the open door, out of their line of sight. And wait for them to come through the door into your space. Chris dagger. He's had a campfire for me. Missed him. Got him on the jump. When they jump, they're easier to hit because you can tell they can't change direction that easily. This can be difficult to pull off from a timing perspective, but I find even if you make a mistake and don't trap the ranger the first time, they'll often come back and give you another chance. Just be mindful that even if you do manage to trap them, they'll likely be a lot faster than you and still able to escape. Huh. Got away. Darn. I didn't have my utility, but that's okay. Got him. Couldn't trap him, but I could catch him. That's you? Asparagus. The next tip is about how to deal with rogues. Rogues are actually very squishy and very susceptible to blocking and counterattacking. Frostlight. If you can stay calm, track their dagger, block their attack, and counterattack, it doesn't take that many hits to either scare them off or outright drop them. Oh, I should have waited. Damn rogue. The challenge is, to actually block the attack, and not try to out-trade them. Do this by aiming for the dagger hand. Whatever side the dagger is on, aim for the hand, and don't attack until you hear the successful block. Some rogues can be tankier than others, so don't get ahead of yourself, and make sure you stay to a blocking first counterattack playstyle. Players will often pretend to run to mask the wind-up of an attack pattern, and then turn and lunge back at you. It can be very tempting to try to follow a player who appears to be fleeing. And even worse, if you pull out a ranged weapon to try to score range damage on that player, if the player is faking a retreat, they can turn and punish you if you pull out your ranged weapon. He's running. He's running. Lost him. Chased him off. So anytime you see a fighter, a longsword fighter in particular, turning to run, note that they may be pretending and using this maneuver to mask a wind-up of their own attack animation. Close one. Good blocking. Tried to run. So even though it's tempting, try not to take the bait and be ready for an attack. I got him now. On the side. Or on the side. Just clip the side of him. Rondel dagger fighters, plate dagger fighters, are a particular build that is very difficult to play against. There's not a lot you can do against a plate dagger fighter. They have very fast movement speed, they have very high PDR, they have very high DPS. Jump all you want, buddy. Legs don't hurt as much. Never uses his buckler. I find that almost the best outcome you can hope for is a stalemate. I find that if you can block enough of their attacks and counterattack with a high armor penetrating weapon like a mace, do that enough times and the dagger fighter will back off. If you manage to trap or capture the dagger fighter in a part of the map they can't escape from easily, you can even sometimes get the win. I beat the dagger fighter. Stupid ass goblin. I beat him. The best way to weather the storm, I find, is to try to stay calm and block their attacks. Train yourself to take a blocking first mentality. Because they all use the Rondel dagger, train your shield on the right hand of the opposing character model. That'll be the left-hand side of your screen. But like I said, don't expect these players to stick around, and interpret any kind of stalemate as a victory. They really are a challenge. Block him off the exit. The next tip relates to the issue shields have blocking thrust attacks. Any attack that comes from the middle out, like a spear, like a rapier, like a crystal sword, can sometimes clip through the shield even though you are blocking. Clipping, clipping, clipping. This has to do with how the hitbox spawns in after the attack animation has begun. So the sword or the spear can actually be positioned behind your shield when the hitbox becomes active. This is what causes the clipping effect, and can make it essentially impossible to block these thrusting attacks if you are too close to them. So the best way to deal with these weapons that have a thrusting first attack is to use spacing, try to stay farther away, wait for an attack deeper in the weapon combo, and launch your counterattack that way. This is incredibly frustrating, and in my opinion, totally broken. I hope Iron Mace fixes it soon. I got him. But until then, we just have to anticipate this is an issue, try to stay away from those first attacks, and then again, look for the attacks you can block deeper in the combo. Good luck. The last tip in the video is to really embrace a sneaky playstyle. I'm able to consistently take down much stronger opponents that are wearing way better gear simply by using the darkness and being a little more patient than them. Heavy boots. Darn. That was not... Did not expect him to be this geared. Damn. A lot of players don't like to play in the dark. A lot of players don't even expect the lights to be off. Let's try, man. Play quietly, play slowly, be patient, leverage the darkness. By taking on some or all of these strategies, you'll be amazed at the advantages you get in PvP combat. Got him. Sneaky, sneaky. Got him. A lot of players are impatient. A lot of players don't expect there to be someone waiting in the darkness. 2. So learn to embrace a sneaky playstyle. GG, man. Take advantage of patience and darkness whenever you can. Got him. Had to wait for it, though. Had to wait for it. Okay, that's it. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you found it interesting, useful. If I missed anything, or you have any other recommendations for combat strategies, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Also, if you're interested in more combat strategy, I've got a blocking-focused live stream called The Board Meeting. It kicks off every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you're a shield fighter, or just shield curious, stop by Monday starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. Say hi. Be great to see you there. That's it for this one. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again soon.